Okay.
Ice cream demo tonight.
I
Good
know.
evening, everyone.
He's
This is
He's
the
making ice cream and
Park and Rec meeting
bringing for us.
for May 10th, 2023. It is 6:30 PM. Meeting's begun. Meeting is being held hybrid due to COVID regulations. I will introduce, starting with myself and going to the left, Jeannie Reed is present on the committee.
David DeLaurie, Mike Shield, Rick Harriman.
And we also have Cindy Sullivan here. We will begin with public comments. Do we have any?
Where's this on the agenda?
Okay. All right. We can, we don't have anybody in the waiting room.
Nope,
Joe.
just Joe. Joe, did you want to say something during public comment? You're on mute.
Well, that'll keep it short.
How you
There you
doing
go.
tonight? Can you hear me? No, we're still muted.
No.
Just took us off. No, mute.
That's mute. No, you got.
No,
you're on mute.
Now you're on mute now. Can you not hear us? Can you not hear?
Yeah, we're
Okay.
good. Test.
Test.
That's wonderful. How you guys doing tonight?
Good, how are you?
Good. You don't look so goddamn excited. Hey, so fireworks are Saturday night at your park, right? With the WIC. I just want to inform you that I do pick up the trash the next morning at 4 AM. So we don't need anyone bitching about trash or complaining about messes or beer bottles. I do go through there and pick all that up, should there be any. All right? So you don't need any overtime. I don't need any stories. I don't want any complaints. It'll be cleaned up and ready to go for you folks.
Thank
Thank
you
you,
for, yes,
Thank
thank
you.
you for enlightening us.
There's plenty of barrels there as well, so they can throw them away themselves too.
And they will, and those barrels will be emptied. So you guys will be all set.
We got it. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Joe.
That's it. Thank you.
Okay.
Alrighty, so moving on to approving bills and minutes.
You have the minutes there for the last two.
Did anyone see, wait, let me back. Okay, May 10th bills and, I'm sorry, you guys, minutes. Anything needs to be changed? Does everything look okay to everyone?
Okay, look good on both of them. Agreed. I'll make a motion to accept the minutes for
Thank you.
May and June.
Yes, sounds good. Second?
I'll second that.
Okay, Rick Harriman second. We will take a vote to approve the minutes for Park and Rec for the dates of May 10th and June 14th. Myself, Jeannie Reed, aye.
David DeLaurie, aye. Mike Shield, aye. Rick Harriman, aye.
Okay, unanimous.
Mhm.
Bills, I mean, why do I keep saying that? Minutes approved. And then just send them on their way for them to be signed.
Yeah, you guys can just sign them.
Okay,
I don't think I was at either one of these meetings, so.
and we're not into approving bills, but we do have,
Am I still signing this if I wasn't here?
no, you don't.
Okay, sir.
We just had two bills.
I looked at those.
Okay.
Started going through these.
So one was for, I can pass it,
You don't have to sign them though. They're already.
right. One was for the two weed whackers for the rail trail, sum of $699. Yeah.
So those were the maintenance, that's the money
We
that
don't have to sign it. We're not allowed. to
David
sign it.
had asked that you see the bills from maintenance.
Mhm.
So that's what those are.
What's that one for, Dave?
This is for one of the fertilizer applications,
Okay,
like a duplicate or something
It
else.
might be
Yeah,
a duplicate.
For
okay.
the weed whackers and then that concrete slab that they had to put in.
Oh, yes.
The one by the garage, yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
2,800.
Mhm.
compared to
better than 5,000. All right. So we can pass those along. Yeah, where am I going? Can I go, can I jump down? Am I allowed to?
Not these are.
There's other things under there, so I don't
Okay,
know.
all right, so,
Do you have a minute, Marissa? Are you in a hurry to?
I have an ag meeting at 7, but I let them know that I would be late.
Okay, we should be there
Priorities,
then.
and you guys do your own thing, don't worry about it, thank you though.
okay.
I mean, you can make a motion and do it if you want. It's fine.
Okay, so I would like to make a motion to move number 8, old business, to the next line item of, the agenda, please.
I'll second it.
Okay, thank you. All in favor, unanimous? Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Okay, so we will move on to old business before we hit Wally Park.
Okay.
And then we have a guest.
Thank you guys, I appreciate that. So yes, I am back to check in about the chapter 61 protocol. I've gotten endorsement from a couple of, Marisa Kagoberdon, 126 South Loomis Street, here on behalf of the Agricultural Commission. Right, so I've gotten endorsement from a few more boards and I'm working my way around next week for a couple more, hoping to get to the select board by the end of this month and present it to them so that they can review it, bring it to town council if they feel that's necessary. And then at that point, get it enacted, at which point all the boards would be informed so that we're all on the same page. So today, for the purposes of your commission, just wondering if there was any feedback. I sent Cindy the most recent version a few weeks ago, and there were some updates.
When I had sent you the email about what your questions was about the 45 days.
Oh, yeah.
We did talk about this and we did endorse it, but you did have questions about it. And I think that's why Marissa wanted to come
Okay.
just to answer those questions. So I think that was what if you want to speak on that at all about what our
Yeah,
email was.
sure. It was, I thought it was a concern about the 30 days.
It was the
I
it was the
think it
30 days and just, they felt like it just wasn't enough time, but you
Yeah.
explained that. So,
Right, so unfortunately, the 30 days, and the only time 30 days as a scenario applies for us to have to get an answer back to the landowner is if they want to change the usage of the land, not if they're selling it. If they're selling it, we have 120 days. So 30 days, that unfortunately is imposed by the state. That's not
Okay.
something that we can really wiggle around. So based on that, and based on what Cindy had mentioned as part of the feedback, I actually, and other commissions and boards had this worry as well. They were saying 30
Mhm.
days, that's not much.
Mm,
But then again, in most cases, if someone's not looking to sell their land and they just want to change the usage, we're not going to be that interested in exercising our right
Okay.
of first
Yeah,
refusal anyways.
wasn't that clear on that.
Right, right, just because, I mean, there was an example last year on North Loomis, they had been haying that, it had been agricultural, but a family member was aging, they decided they wanted to build a house on their land. So they took it out of chapter 61, but they kept the land, they didn't sell it, they just wanted to change it from agricultural to residential because they wanted to build a house.
Remember that.
We had only 30
Mhm.
days. So in that scenario, it's like, we're not gonna try to buy this land from you. So we said, okay, go
that-
for it, you
that
know,
makes
like,
sense then.
that
yeah.
makes sense, yeah.
So that's why, and that's imposed by the state.
I think for us, that would just be a notification because there's nothing we could even do with that. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, well, we had our eye on that in case they ever wanted to sell it for the dog park.
Right.
Well, now they changed the usage. Good to know.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. That's about it.
But we have 30 days to respond, not act as far as like come up with
Right.
the money and all that other stuff. It's the
Right.
30 days whether you want to choose, whether you choose to.
Challenge it or whatever.
Yeah,
Right,
okay,
right. By the end of 30 days, the idea is that the select board has an answer from everybody,
yeah.
all the concerned boards, your board being
Mhm.
one of those.
Mhm.
And then they can tell the landowner, hey, no one has expressed interest, go for it, go
Right.
do your conversion. And that kind of ends that.
And is no answer an answer?
Correct, by
Thank you.
default, yes.
Thank you for clarifying
Yeah,
that
that's
one
great.
too.
That's a great question.
Yes, so, I added a caveat in there that if people are at all interested in this 30-day scenario, just to kind of cover all our bases, to try to get together by 14 days into the 30 days, so that if there is genuine interest, you at least have some sort of benchmark to work toward and say, hey, let's try to get together by 14 days if we're really interested for whatever reason. And that way we have 2 weeks to notify the select board after the 14 days. But I doubt that that would happen. Again, we're looking more at scenarios where people are actually selling their land, and we have 120 days in that, scenario.
Okay.
So, perfect. Did the check mark system make sense for folks? Like, that was clear, like, okay.
Yeah.
Just want to make sure that like everyone, getting that document in the future, it's really clear and you're like, okay, I kind of understand the documentation that we're supposed to have as a board.
Yeah, it kind of
Okay.
makes sense and getting it clarified for everybody.
Okay, great. So I'm sorry, I misunderstood. I didn't realize that you guys had already endorsed it. So if you already endorsed it, I won't.
Yeah, I think we just had the question around
Do you
the
wanna
30
do-
days. Otherwise, everything else looked fine.
Great,
Yeah,
great.
but-
That version looked fine. Awesome. Thank you. So yeah, if that answers that and you guys have already provided that endorsement, I appreciate that. I'll be back later on once the select board has given some feedback. Hopefully I'll be back with the news that, hey, they've implemented this.
Yeah.
We're now all beholden to it. So let's, make sure that we kind of just do our due diligence, so, and another thing, I was at the historical, meeting on Monday and they asked about the possibility, it wasn't written in there, but they were like, what if we get a property down the line and we want to work with another commission or committee to, see if there's an alliance that we can build? I said, absolutely. That's not written in there because that's not mass general law. That's more just like operationally how we want to work as a town hall, right? Kind of work with other boards and commissions. So just adding that there, so people know that that's a positive thing that can come from actually knowing who else is reviewing the same documents as you, and you can have a conversation with them and not be totally lost. So, yeah, any other questions, comments?
The only thing I'd like to do is entertain a motion to approve the endorsement of the chapter 61 now that we have the clarification. I think we should do that just so it's on the record. So anyone entertain a motion and we'll go from there.
Didn't it already get approved?
Well, we did, but we did have the question,
Oh,
so we
okay.
should probably just clarify
Sure.
our endorsement and with the fact that we
The
now
full
have our, yeah,
understanding.
yes.
We thought we knew the
Sounds good.
answer, but we weren't 100% sure.
And I
Okay,
then sent her an
Yeah.
updated version
Yeah.
noting that
Yeah.
14-day
Okay.
recommendation,
Yeah.
so.
Sure,
Okay.
I'll make a motion to approve.
okay,
I'll second that.
okay. Rick Harriman seconds. Okay, so we take a vote. Myself, I approve. Aye.
David Data Laurie, aye.
Mike Shield, aye.
For camera.
Okay, so unanimously, we approve the endorsement of chapter 61 with the clarifications.
Fabulous. Thank you so much,
Thank
folks.
you
Really
very much.
appreciate it. Oh, no,
Thank you.
For moving me up in the agenda
Sure.
now onto ag. And yeah, I will be back once I have updates from the select board. If for whatever reason they decide to completely change the document or
Okay.
stay
Okay.
new to it, I'll have that update.
All right, great.
Great,
Thank
thank
you.
you.
Bye.
Thank you, Marissa.
Good to see you.
Good to see you too. We have an open farm day happening in,
Oh, fun.
gosh, I designed this one, August 20th.
Thank
So
you.
if you guys can check that out.
Sure.
Thank you.
Pollination between our committees.
All right.
Great, thank
Thanks so
you.
much,
Bye
guys.
bye. Take care.
Do you want to do the other one under old business
Yeah.
or do you want to,
Yeah, did I miss something? An old business?
nope, just the shade canopy? Do you want to do
Oh,
that now
I'll bring
or
that one up, please.
Oh, yeah,
because we're under there instead
Yes.
of going back?
it's not on mine, so I apologize.
I know it's cut off on mine too. It's fine though.
Oh, is it on the one that I printed out?
No.
Or that Kara printed out?
No, so,
Oh, see,
well,
that's
we're
the
good.
old one.
So we're on to the shade canopy.
Yep.
There was an updated amended agenda, so.
Okay. So is there an update on the shade canopy?
So I looked into it, like you asked.
Mhm.
And like we had stated before, there's a huge range from $4,000 to $20,000.
That's what I saw also.
Yeah, I mean, there's tons of companies that do it. They do installation. I don't know where you want to go with it. There's also I didn't get a chance to, I know there is a canvas company, locally that we could get an actual quote from instead of just kind of doing a search on it. But it is, I mean, they're kind of cool and they do have a lot of them at a lot of playgrounds.
They're a little more popular than I thought.
They are very popular,
How
yeah.
big would this be? Like,
Well, that's the question, right? So you mind if I,
Nope,
so
sure.
we gotta really get something going on size, shape, material, color, the angle that it's gonna be at. We need a proposal, right? To do it right, it's likely gonna cost about $20 per square foot. That includes the cement posts, depends on whether you're gonna go 3, 4, or 5 posts. There also needs to be some ongoing maintenance with it because you don't leave it up here. You wouldn't leave it up in the wintertime because of the snow.
Right, you
and
take the
wind.
canopy piece down.
Exactly, leave the posts, but,
Mhm.
you know, the companies that you would engage would be able to tell you that, but, and it's also not rain proof, right? It's a shade thing, so it's material. It will deflect water, but water will get through it, you know what I mean? So,
okay,
yeah, but there are different, I mean, there are different qualities, and the one, I would recommend using this material called HDPE with a density of greater than 300, what they call 300 GSM. That provides the best kind of shade, but still allows airflow through it. So I did a little research for you, Cindy.
Thank you,
With you.
awesome, thank you.
So we gotta,
And there's tons of companies.
There are a
And there's
ton of
different
companies.
sizes, 10 by 12, 10 by 15, 10 by
They
18.
can do custom sizes too.
Here, I
right?
can pass
So,
this around. This is, I printed that out. So there's, yeah, they can.
Yeah,
but do we have certain things we're looking to cover?
That's the thing, I
Or
think-
what are we looking to cover?
oh, sorry.
Playscape.
Playscape.
Okay.
It's not the
Yeah.
covering the playscape, it's creating a shade
area.
spot for,
By the Playscape.
but yeah,
Okay.
like inside the playscape so that parents can,
Prices?
those are all the prices. Yep. There's like, depending on what size it
Yeah.
is, it goes up, up, up. See, that's,
Gotcha. Yep.
so on the first
I think
page is
it'll come in handy for
$3,000.
The water, whatever we're calling that thing.
The
So, yeah,
spray park?
Just a, yeah, spray park, for a place for parents to chill out while their kids are getting wet.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right? Oh, the shade. Yeah.
Which would be like the double one where the pole would be on one side of the fence and,
right.
What's it?
There's a lot.
So where do
here.
you think we should, kind of start?
We gotta get a quote.
Yeah,
We need an idea on what we want to see first.
yeah, as a committee, we may want to just maybe on our own or however we want to do it, but take a ride up to the park and say, well, I would like to see 10 feet of it covered. I would like to see the entire thing. Also keeping in mind, we do have the
Spray park.
spray park
Mhm,
inevitably coming.
mhm.
So, we gotta think about, do we want it a little bit bigger?
That's
Because
what we were saying, to provide shade for both.
Yeah.
for
right?
both, yeah.
So maybe at this time, we kind of, so we know that they're out there. I think we knew that,
Mhm.
except from buying on Amazon.
I
But,
actually thought
you
they
know.
were, not as popular as they are.
Mhm.
So I found the same thing.
Yeah, it's crazy how popular they are.
Yeah.
And there'll be a lot of I mean, we could get quotes for competition, you know what I mean? So, cause we have to
Yeah.
anyway, right? So we have to get a
Typic-
certain number of quotes.
If it's over $10,000, you have to have 3 quotes.
Yeah, I'm hoping it's not
Right.
that.
I would
but it
hope it
could be.
wouldn't be. I would
It could
Well,
be.
some of these are,
Yeah.
I see the
Well, depending on the
prices.
size,
Right.
yeah.
Right.
Okay, so why don't we make it a goal for our next meeting to have that, you take a ride up there and say, I'd like to see this much covered. I'd like to see, whatever, then we can throw it back on the table and we can
Okay.
decide or argue about what we want to see
I'm
covered.
gonna plead a little ignorance in that I don't exactly understand where the spray park is potentially gonna go. So if you guys do, that would help out when I do take my drive up there to figure out, like, if I was gonna be planner for a day, this is what I'd like to see.
Right.
You know what I mean? 'Cause
Yeah.
I have no idea. Is it near the volleyball courts? Is it, I don't know.
It is by the playground and the bathrooms. There's drawings I can
Okay.
send you.
That actually would help
I
out.
don't know how close it is if you can get.
So then that could create, a thing that maybe the spray park needs its own.
It might
one
need a
down the
separate
road.
one, right?
Or that's why you go on the straight part.
Well, I mean,
Well, right.
well, yeah, right. And yeah, and does the spray park need a shade thing?
Well, here's the point of the spray park, I thought, was the kids are running around and kids don't know. They're like a dog chasing a ball in the sun. They'll pass
Mhm.
out eventually, right? Whatever. It's the parents, right? And the parents call the kids and, hey, get some shade for a little bit. So you need shade for, I think, if we're gonna do one, we gotta try to possibly plan for the other. That's what I'm thinking.
I think quotes are better than
Yes.
nothing. Quotes will give us more information.
Should we maybe send an email to the lady that brought this up to have her give us an idea what she would like to have shaded? I mean, if she's cause I don't use the thing. I could just pick a random spot and I wouldn't know if that's what they're
Yeah.
looking for.
Well, I'm thinking, so if you're standing with your back to the pavilion where there's a little doorway or a little
Mhm.
doorway, you're looking at the park. I would think
Playground, yeah.
you're looking at the playground, excuse me. I would think that something would need to go to the right. Now there's benches over there.
Mhm.
So I would think that might be the most feasible because then you have the benches, then you have the actual fence that goes around, then you have a little bit of dirt, then you have the sidewalk, then you start to open up kind of where we
I agree.
do the Easter
Yeah.
egg hunt, right?
Mhm, mhm.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking, in my head, that's what I'm thinking, that area, that could be the area.
I mean, it's got a bench.
It's got a bench.
You know what I mean? So.
Definitely has
yeah.
one bench, I know for sure, because I've
We
sat
can
on it.
spray park. We do one at a time. Here.
I think we should do one at a time.
Yeah.
I think we're
Take
not,
care of what's known. Spray park
Yeah.
never happened. I mean, it was
Oh,
voted
what's
in.
happening?
It was voted in, but. well, it happened.
let's,
Yeah.
I don't know, I mean,
Yeah.
I work near 3 spray parks and don't see one canopy, and it's in
Exactly.
the middle of the flats of Holyoke.
Mhm.
So
I don't
I think we need to
remember.
cross that bridge when we get
Yeah,
to
I
it.
agree with that.
Yeah.
So we can get
let's
quotes.
Let's do our,
Or we want to go do a site assessment.
yeah,
yes,
let's start
can we
with the
call it
site
that?
assessment first.
Yeah.
And I just think that's simply just taking a ride up there before our next meeting and kind of giving yourself an idea of where you think it should go. I guess it wouldn't hurt to reach out to, Ms. Perone, is that her name?
Mhm.
To see where she ideally would think that it would be. That doesn't mean that we have to put it there, but since she's already, brought it up 2 times, maybe she, being a mom who sits there, might have an idea where it would
Voice of the customer.
preferably be,
Mhm, mhm.
suited for.
I like it.
And then we
And do you
can
want me
kinda-
to reach out to a local company and
Yeah.
see
why
if they
don't we
could go
get
up there
some,
and just tell us at 12
yeah,
by
that's-
15, one is gonna
I think it
cost?
was- What
That
was
wouldn't
the
hurt.
one?
I can't
did
think
the
of
rec
the-
Center stuff, Leisure Time, I think they were in
Yeah.
West Springfield.
Is that the canvas?
Yeah,
I think it might be. I can find out
I
the
think
name.
that's what it was.
And they might not even be able to get out there until,
That's okay,
later.
but I mean, it gets us a
But I can
start.
give
It
them a
doesn't mean
call.
we, it gives us an idea of maybe what they recommend as far as,
Yeah.
square feet of this shade or this
Mhm.
sale or whatever. And then and maybe they might recommend a spot, but that doesn't mean we still have to go with it. But it gives us
Gives us
that
more
ground
ideas.
zero starting point.
Mhm.
And then in our heads, we all, having gone up there at least to drive by, I know we drive by a million times, but at least kind of have an idea where we think we might.
I'll just throw this into, I do want to have, not as a vote, but I want to have Dave understand what's going to be happening because they do the trimming and stuff around there. And I know like in my yard, if my wife puts up like a pole or something like that and it gets in the lane of my mowing, it's annoying, right? I
Mhm.
used to mow that. Now I got to weed whack that. We should at least have.
yeah,
their, you know, conform or.
Yeah, I think
informed
this is
consent.
preliminary.
Yeah,
Yep.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
absolutely, yep.
Yep. So we'll take that into consideration.
Very good.
So can we, I'm gonna just ask that we continue to keep it on the agenda as a line item
Yeah.
that we can continue to speak freely about and kind of throw ideas, and if we get any information, we can present it.
Mhm.
We're gonna do something.
Okay, perfect. And then we gotta have a budget too eventually, so we'll get the information and then figure out where we're gonna go from there.
Yep.
Okay, perfect.
Sounds good. Okay,
So now you go back up to 3.
yep. So we will go back to, buildings and grounds update.
David is not here and I did not receive any update.
Okay. I think that we would like to have an update sooner than later, so we'd like to make sure that he's at the next meeting.
And that's what we said the last meeting. I think
We did, this is the third meeting, so I think it's the third, so second or third.
I know seems like he's getting things done now. I did take a ride on the rail trail on Sunday during the rain to see where I had asked those trees to be taken down. Yeah, and they were taken down.
Can't talk about it, though.
I mean, it would be nice on my end if we send them emails, if we would get a reply and let us know that things are done instead of having to look
Where'd
for
the
people
minutes
keep
go?
contacting us.
You got it?
I just want to look at them real quick.
Yes.
Just at least 30.
Yeah,
Okay.
this is the third meeting.
Okay, so we should have,
In the May meeting, he actually sent an update to Kara's email late. So when we checked it this afternoon, there wasn't one.
You can see that.
And I was here until 4. Huh?
I was just telling you. you can see that, and you just tell.
okay. Okay. We can move on to, oh, no, I'm sorry, guys. We're gonna stay in Wally Park and we're gonna talk about motocross parking review.
It was excellent. The crowd was well behaved. And they seemed to enjoy themselves. We had plenty of room. It was a great day.
I can confirm that.
Did it seem like that was a larger than normal crowd?
I think so.
I mean,
Does anyone? There was a lot of people.
there were a lot of people.
Last year there was a lot too.
Yeah, yeah.
From my perspective, I could actually see, I don't know how well the schools and the rec center did, but they looked full.
They were
The rec
full as
center
well.
finished up by 12:30, they were telling me, and they were sending people over to the schools after that.
Okay. Wow. Good. That's good for everybody,
That
though.
is great for
That's
everybody.
good
I think they
revenue
should
for the
be
town.
Charging the same as us for parking.
They're going to
Yeah,
next
they're
year.
well.
Well, they-
Yeah,
They're already
They
going to
should.
increase what we did.
Well, what they did was as I was leaving the park and driving through town to do other things, sign said cars $10, trucks 20 and up,
Yes.
depending on size. So they must have had a last minute change of heart.
Amazing.
A lot of big trucks.
There was,
I think
yeah.
half of The thing was big trucks.
You're right.
How about
I wonder if they charged, I wonder if they charged them 30.
That's great.
I think
Big trucks.
they based it on,
What about the campers? Do we charge more at the
Mhm.
gate for that?
Yeah.
We do. See, I didn't know that. So that's good.
Well,
I think
Yeah.
we're the only place that can really hold the campers.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think that's great.
And we
So I-
allow all the police to park for free, obviously.
Yeah.
They're directed to come to Wally Park. I don't know who directs them, but we are glad to have them there
Yeah,
at no
Mhm.
charge.
which is
Couldn't
great.
take
Yeah,
our-
That was a spot, we saved a
Yes,
spot
we
down,
Save a spot for them.
that's
Nice
great.
to have in
Perfect.
and out.
and we saved a
It
spot
is.
for the campers.
It is.
And I don't think that lady, why didn't we have that lady go back then?
I think she had a lot of people.
Well, she had a lot of people and they
Who
were
else, the
kind of
camper
coming and
thing?
going.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think
It was a
because
little
we had
bit later,
sent
too.
like a
Yeah.
lot of buses and
yeah. some
Yeah.
big
Down there,
vehicles.
Yeah.
There were some
she
really-
just
Which
wanted
was fine.
somewhere.
She kind of just, she was good.
She
Ended up,
was a nice person.
she ended up hanging out with us while we were
Good.
parking.
Was that the
cars.
Gilligatt bus?
Yeah, like New Britain Transit.
Mhm.
Yeah.
There had a lot of people in there.
Oh, no, it was not that one.
Yeah.
This was actually like a limousine rental kind of.
Oh, yeah. I saw, yeah, she came in and out.
It was more like a party
and then
bus.
Came back, yeah.
Yeah, she had, she ended up parking near a bunch of people they knew, so she kept the bus full and they were coming in and out and kind of refreshing and going back to the race, so it was good.
That's cool.
How's everybody think we did health wise?
Excellent.
I
I
mean,
thought we had enough. It was good having everyone from the committee there and having a few volunteers, so it
Yeah.
help us in addition, so I thought it was great. So, and that allowed us to park like we needed to and still have space if, we
Yeah.
left some of those ball fields full, so.
Yeah, I think it allowed us to keep more control over people just randomly parking
Parking
wherever
where
they
they
wanted
Yep.
to. We still got people that were reluctant about it, but you're gonna get that
Yeah.
regardless.
Yeah.
I would like to recommend that maybe we do shifts. of parking only because, standing on the hot
Yes.
car
It was-
for almost 8 hours,
Yep.
it was bad.
Mhm.
It was rough.
Yeah,
And I came prepared. I mean, I had
Oh,
like
yeah.
50 block sunscreen. I had a hat on. I had a whole
Didn't matter.
thing of water. It was rough. And that's not to say that it wasn't rough for poor like Kelly Magny, who was down parking cars like all day either. But, I don't know, we just maybe, or you have somebody where you rotate for a break
Yeah.
or
He's just got
something
such a
like
system
that.
that
He's
you can't
he's
beat it.
good, and John did check on him a
Yeah.
bunch of times, but I think, and you know, and sometimes when you're constantly moving too, you're not as, you're not as like, oh my God.
I think that's
Yeah.
what happened to me is the moment I stopped moving, it like all
Yeah.
hit me at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think just standing in the road for the last
Yeah.
3 hours kind of.
Yeah, that was kind of rough. So we either do breaks or we do something where we have shifts where people work 4-hour shifts, and then if you want to stay more, fine, but if not, we can then that way we can give other people that volunteer just be, hey, show up at 11 or, show up at 10 or something. We can
How-
kind of stagger stuff.
I never got over the hill. How was the parking down in that area? Like,
Perfect.
it was
Yeah,
good
the lower
because
field.
the upper
I never made it
lots,
down there
Yeah.
either.
we have, and I like it, we have generous parking spots in those parking lots.
Yes, yeah.
And we absolutely could have tightened those
Oh,
cars
yeah,
up.
no
You know
doubt.
what I mean? But nobody was telling them where to park. There's, oh, I see a parking spot,
Mhm.
and that's normal. But if we ever needed to, we could absolutely bring those in.
Yeah,
like
and
that.
we stacked them in a couple of spots. It
You
gets
could-
a little thinner, so then we kept it single, but there were a couple of times where it was like pull in tight, and then they're like, sorry, and you're like, hey, can you get in a little more?
Yeah.
And they're like,
To
well,
keep
look
the
at
alley.
that right there.
Yeah.
And it's like, and then, but
Yeah.
we did do that where we
Most people
had,
were cool when I told them to tighten up,
yeah,
Mhm.
but I
But it
was
was-
6'4" and imposing.
yeah, but for the most part, I think it went
Yeah,
went
very
well.
But we raised a lot of money, so that's
That's great.
great. So thank you
We
guys for
did, we
doing
need that. That was good.
Yep.
Gives us a good boost. And everybody in town pretty much benefited from it,
Mhm.
so
Yeah,
that's a nice thing.
fantastic.
All right, anything else?
So the spray park, Carl asked me there was an email that went out, but John's not here. From Carl asking for a meeting regarding the spray park. We didn't hear anything, so John's not here. We'll
We
just
got
continue
an
to-
email for that, or just John?
Carl sent it to John and Rob Levesque, and I think you were on it.
I think I was, yeah.
Just to have a meeting, because it's the new fiscal year, so we have to start really planning.
So
for the
this
spray
was
park. There's a
sent-
process which is new to me. This is all new to me, so Carl has to teach me the process.
Well, yeah, and it's a big project too.
Yeah.
So this was sent on June 30th. It was sent to Rob and Alexandra. Now that May annual town meeting approved the project for the spray park, I want to understand where things are progressing. Rob and RLA will need to submit a scope of services to Park and Rec and Select Board offices for approval that covers their support services to the project pursuant to Mass General Law, state public bidding laws for any additional permitting, local or state design, bid out, bids review, et cetera, et cetera. Please let me know if these actions are underway, as time is of essence for completing the project for use by the public by next May, June of 2024. So, that's right around the corner too, you guys.
Yes.
It
I
comes
mean, if you
very
got-
fast.
Yeah, it will.
As you all know, we'll be at motocross again.
Yeah,
Well, 'cause we
360
basically gotta
days.
get it going this
Yeah.
fall.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
'cause
Spring season won't start till April, getting
Right.
things done there.
Mhm.
okay, so,
So John's pretty much heading that up or coordinating that part of it. Or we,
well, what I can do is I can reach out to John and ask him if he is, and we'll see.
Mhm.
I will, see where we're at. Yeah. And I think basically it seems like it's really kind of lighting a fire under Levesque and,
They're
Those
probably already
guys.
doing it.
They could
It's
be, yeah.
just, It's come to the point now where it was approved by town meeting, so it's now a town project, so we need to just, move forward.
Right.
It was approved, so let's
Mm-hmm.
start. Things
Okay.
just, it's a huge process.
All right.
And
so-
John knows government works differently than the private sector.
Right.
Everything takes a little longer and there's a different process, so.
Okay. So I'll touch base with him. about
Okay.
that. Okay. So is that it for Wally Park?
Mhm.
Didn't you wanna do?
Oh, I know back on our minutes, from May, I think it was, just looking to see if the Speedy Dry was purchased for the softball fields and or both fields, I should say.
So, after that meeting, I had sent to Nadine, who is the assistant, chief administrative officer, our request, and
Mhm.
she was going to address it with David.
Okay,
That's the process that it goes through.
okay,
When there was that issue at the park a few weeks ago, the Speedy Dry had not been purchased. David went up and fixed the field. Was that on Saturday? I think it was Saturday, and then Sunday morning it
Yeah.
was taken care of.
okay,
So that's kind of where it ended with Kara and I.
okay. So we still have summer games, so we should have some for the fields for that. Softball is done
Until fall.
until the fall. But it'll
Okay.
probably pick up in what, August?
Yeah, end of August.
Yeah,
Softball's done.
for the
yeah, for
spring.
the spring. Probably resume, I'd say like mid-August, I think it's around there.
Okay.
It is, yeah, it's mid-August. 'cause it
Which will
was
be in
the
a
first
few
week in
weeks.
October. I know, I'm not ready.
Yeah.
for it.
Again, time flies.
Yeah.
So, okay.
Keep saying I'm gonna retire.
Too young for that.
Not yet.
My body doesn't say the same thing Monday morning.
It's hard to get up. after so
So you want Speedy Dry for the other fields?
Well, don't you think it should be purchased for, the baseball diamonds
Yeah.
too? I mean, we should have a surplus, so if it's needed, it's available,
Mhm.
I would think.
Right.
So, and it could be split. I mean, some could be put into the shed at the, softball field.
Mhm.
And then the other could be stacked in the, garage.
Yeah.
And used when needed.
Mhm.
It should be treated like ready stock.
Yeah,
I hear you. Yep.
yeah.
I don't supervise David, so
Okay.
we're in that situation again.
We're in a gap situation.
But I, yep,
Okay.
Okay. All right. So now we can put the Wally Park.
but he does listen to
Maybe.
the meetings,
Yep.
so.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't mean to bash David, but I think we need a better line of communication with everything as far as him letting us know when things get done.
Mhm.
If we ask for things, I mean, just so we know.
We need a process for that, right? So we make
Yeah.
a request, it can't go into a black hole.
I know he's got a lot of things going on and
And I appreciate that.
but I think we should get a little feedback on things,
For
even
sure.
if it's like a quick email. To just include us on it and just let us know, give us an update.
Okay.
I have a question. It may not have to do with Wally Park. It may just have to do with this building. I don't know. I've got the signs that we used for the parking.
Yep.
I've got the other signs,
Mhm.
like the Easter, whatever else
Mhm.
in my garage. Where do they go?
Can you bring them here?
I can.
Cause I
I bring-
needed them for tomorrow.
I could bring them
So-
here tomorrow. Tomorrow morning.
Tomorrow morning is actually the puppet show up at Wally Park, so.
So I can bring
I've been
someone.
putting them at Wally Park, like if you go in, do you have a key for that at all?
I have nothing. I
Okay.
don't want anything, but
Just bring them here and I'll get them up to
Not a
where they
bad
need to go.
Yeah,
I have a key, I know.
I've been putting all the signs in the back, if you go in the back
Okay.
hand corner.
right now you're speaking Greek because I have never been in that building and I plan to never go in there.
Okay.
So just bring them here, Rick, it's
Yeah.
fine.
No.
But it could be open tomorrow when you go up there, right? You're working.
We'll be there. Kara will be there at 8 o'clock. Kara will be there at 8 and I'm going up at like 9:30.
Okay.
I have to put the pickleball And that's out tomorrow, so we're dividing and conquering tomorrow.
And the stage was put up today for the Rotary concert,
As far as I know, yes.
Okay. and then it has to be removed
Removed
before
tomorrow,
your
yep.
show, correct?
Mhm.
Okay,
So I should be able to be somewhere by 9. I got a dental appointment, then I'll be here.
You can
Right
drop
here.
them off upstairs, bring them up to the senior center and just leave them up there, it'll be fine.
Thank you.
all right, now we can move on?
Mhm.
Okay. Rail Trail. That's what we're on. Any updates, Dave?
We have somebody from Westfield that walked the trail from the Westfield line up to Span West Road
Mm-hmm.
or Feeding Hills Road and asked about helping out and pruning and just no chainsaw work, but just cleaning the trail as he goes. So he got a hold of the Friends group and they ran it by me. I told him, that's great if he wants to do anything, but if he's got to use power equipment,
Yeah, it's
just
different.
let us know kind of thing. But it's basically pruning and
Yeah.
cutting the stuff off of the fences and that kind of thing.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you know if, I was told that DPW has been using the sidearm on the trail?
I was down there Sunday in the rain down there and it looked like they either sprayed it with chemicals or they used the sidearm mower down that section of the trail
Mm-hmm.
between the Westfield line and Sam West Road. But it looked good and the stuff was really knocked back, so.
Yes, I did. DPW was going to try to do the entire trail in the next few weeks.
Well,
Without us having to use because the money that we had approved at the last meeting was fiscal 23 money, so we can't use it.
yeah, I talked with Scott about that and called him a couple of times and he sent me an email when I was on vacation.
Yeah,
But that was after July 1st when I got that. So I figure it's no use doing that now. We might as well wait till the fall if they weren't getting to it.
I'm pretty sure DPW has been working on it
Yeah,
with the
I
one,
was-
they do have a person who's trained to do it, so they were doing it.
I was gonna ask David about that because it's definitely cleared way back there and looks pretty good.
Yep. Good, I'm glad it,
So that's good.
because of my broken ankle, I haven't been able to go anywhere on there.
So I
So,
took the truck down to run a bunch of it the other day to see. But it
Okay.
was really knocked back there. It looks good.
yep, they have been working on it. I don't know how far they've gotten, so. But their plan is to work on it so that it's done and then continue
Yeah, that would,
working on it, because their new tractor should be coming in.
yeah, definitely look good.
Good, perfect. Glad to hear that. And that's from the DPW without any expense from us, so that's good.
Sounds good.
Mhm.
You again.
Yes, thank you, DPW.
Yes, thank you, DPW, that's awesome. And those who helped to arrange that,
Sounds good.
Joe Didi, who's on mute. He gets sick of listening to me complain about certain things.
I placed my malicious order about an hour ago. I don't know. I don't know where it is.
Anything else for Rail Trail?
No, that was it.
Okay. Sounds good. Okay, so we can move on to the beach.
So the beach is open, yay, it was closed.
Saw your notes.
Yeah, I'm trying to keep you guys as updated as possible. It's been a very crazy kind of summer,
That though.
We made the news about it.
but we were already open by the time. we
Right,
hit the
I know, right?
Which is
Yeah.
very interesting, actually,
How long was it shut down?
It was
The
shut
second time?
for almost 2 weeks. We have changed companies. And the count went from in the 300s to 30. So, we're keeping this company that we're currently working with and we'll see what happens. It could be it could be a lot of things. So, so we're open, which is great.
That's
The
good.
staff is happy. Like there's a camp there now with about 60 kids on Tuesdays. So it's
Nice.
fantastic. The lifeguards are happy to be lifeguarding and not painting the bathroom.
Which looks good, by the way.
Thank you. It does. They did a really nice job. They did some murals. We made a decision to have them stay busy for at least half a day from like 10 to 2, so that we didn't lose the staff. Cause
Yeah.
if those
Yeah, you have.
kids
That's the first
students
thing I thought when I
had
saw that.
had found another job, we wouldn't have been able to open for the whole summer. So and they were great. They were good sports about it, and they did a really nice job.
Mhm.
So I was happy to
That's good.
be able to open last Saturday. So hopefully this test this week will come out well. So the last meeting, we talked about season passes, and I did some research.
Just looking for mine.
Belchertown does the season pass, Belchertown Town Beach,
Mhm.
Granby, Connecticut Town Beach. Hampton Ponds charges by the car, $8. But that's a state beach. So I think Granby, their residents, it's $55 for a season pass for an individual, $99 for a household. Non-residents is $90. And $135 for a household. $15 with more than 6 people. So for every person after 6 is an additional $15. Belchertown seemed a little high to me. I've never been to these beaches, so I don't know what they look like. I think we offer a lot with the snack shack and fishing and the beach. But it's probably not, I don't know. Belchertown was $70 for an individual season pass, $110 for non-resident. A couple was $100, $140 for non-resident, and a family season pass was $135 for a resident, $185 for a non-resident, with the additional $15 after 6 people.
Yeah, I think that does sound high.
To me, that was a little high for
Yeah.
Southwick. I felt like Granby was close to us.
I think for trying it out, first of all.
Yeah.
It's a little high, right? We
Yeah.
can adjust it if it's not working.
Yeah,
My question now is, if we put something like that in place, how do we track and enforce it and make it work? You know what I mean?
so I have on my notes that we would need a lamination machine to be able to laminate on site a pass that is signed by somebody. Either it's, what, Mike?
The lifeguard's gotta have to monitor it,
Yeah, I mean, I don't,
7 in your car and you're only for 6. and-
Yeah, I don't think we could do it by the car
Yeah.
load because parking's usually all over the place.
correct. Yeah, I don't suggest we do that. I just got that from Hampton Ponds because it was close, like
Yeah.
close to us. And I don't even know if it's worth it to do it for this year because we're
No,
already,
I think this year we're in it, right?
I think
Yeah.
we're in it and it could close at any time. And I just think it's a little unstable, but
I don't want anybody mad if they started part of the way through the season and got closed.
yeah, and they'd be like wanting us to like,
Refund.
yeah. Yeah, it's,
I think there's a couple more. I had a couple more that I can't find, but I think
there was
I
a lot,
looked
but
up.
they were around Granby, so I kind
Yeah.
of didn't print
I
them all
think I
out.
looked up Belchertown, definitely.
Yeah.
I did think one was
Ludlow was
prices
hard
on
to
the-
find. I was,
Ludlow's is hard but Ludlow also doesn't have parking. It's weird.
it was kind of
Hadley
weird.
Pond-
So, yeah,
Yeah,
it was really strange.
I
So
did
I
look
thought
them
Granby
up.
was a good,
Granby's is right there, park, and it's basically just a pond that's fed off of the brook there.
mhm. Robinson is a state park, so they charge differently. So I was trying to find like
Yeah, check model
communities.
Like that, I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But something that we can say that we're willing to
I say we keep researching it and
yeah.
implement
Address it
something
at
at the
later
beginning of
on,
the
yeah.
season next
Yeah.
year. So that way when we close, people
So,
understand.
do it,
Yeah,
maybe get it finalized this fall so we know and we can give enough notice. So that-
Sure.
Yeah.
I think would be good.
We put that so it comes up again.
and even maybe,
We'll
we
put
can
it
keep it on
on the
old
agenda.
business,
Yeah,
right?
Keep it on
Yep.
old business.
Yeah.
Done
I
all-
think unfortunately, we're gonna have to go with like a no refund even.
we are. I mean, that's what they do. You
Yeah.
buy a season pass at Six Flags.
It's at your risk.
And
know?
if you don't go twice and get your money back, then that's on you, not necessarily,
Yeah.
even if we have to close, hopefully.
Right, right. That's what I'm
We'll
saying.
work on that.
And
closing
it even wouldn't
situation.
hurt to contact these places and say, what do you use? Do you use a punch card? Do you use a laminated kind of thing? Do you have a kiosk where they scan a
Mhm.
barcode or something, so maybe just get some ideas from some of these other places and then we can kind of throw our own plan in.
We have somebody that checks and collects money as soon as they enter.
Yeah, and they
into the
take their license plate and make sure that they're a Southwick resident to get the fee for the Southwick resident. Yep, they
How do they
keep a
do that?
list.
Like they would run.
They have to
like-
bring their license.
Oh, and it would say Southwick on the license.
Yeah. I mean, it's not a perfect situation, but you're also talking about kids who
That's
are,
separate.
yeah,
Mhm.
most people are very good about it and,
Well, maybe if we did the season pass, we could require them to bring their driver's license.
mhm,
Or vehicle
And for the
registration.
kids, I don't
for
know,
vehicle registration, yeah.
I don't know what we would do for the kids, but
Well, I guess I would say this, if someone came in and they had bought a season pass and they have their ID, right, and they're showing it and they've got 5 kids. Does it matter? I mean, really, does it matter if they're the same 5 kids every time they come? I don't really care.
no, I was just wondering if the kids got dropped off and there was like
Oh, I
a
don't
couple
want that.
kids without,
We don't need a 6
like
flags.
14-year-olds with no driver's license kind of thing.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't think we have to worry about
Yeah.
that. But it's good to think about.
Well, they'll spend their money that their mom gave them at the shack anyway, so
Yeah, yeah.
we'll make up the
There you
profit
go.
somewhere. Right?
Yep, so to be continued on that too.
Okay. Any other good stuff for the town beach?
We have the senior sizzler is on August 8th. We usually have about 75 to 80 seniors who come, and if we're closed, we're still gonna do it. They just won't swim.
Mhm.
If it's raining, we'll do it at the senior center, and Malicious and the police department will be there cooking hamburgers and hot dogs and giving out ice cream. People were very excited about it last year.
What time does it start?
It's 11 to 1. I'm having trouble finding entertainment this year because everybody was booked up, but we'll have music if, at the very least. And all of the beach staff will work because Kara and I, it was about 100 degrees last year. And we were like, it was very hot running around serving all of the seniors.
What day of the week is that?
It's a Tuesday.
Are you looking for like a band per se, or are you looking?
We usually have Jack and his guitar and he was booked, and then I've called 2 other places and they're booked that day too, so. If anybody knows it, you can send me the email.
Sure,
And,
I do.
okay, perfect, that'd be
Let's see.
awesome.
I'm
Yeah.
not sure. It's a weekday, but
It's a weekday, so that makes it a little harder too,
yeah, but I might have an idea.
but that's what's happening
you can get off
Okay.
on that.
at the beach.
Huh?
You can get off on that.
I wish I'd
I'm
be,
kidding. I'm kidding.
no, because they won't
That'd
relate
be
to the
quite a
music.
party. Yeah,
It would be. I'll
the-
volunteer for that.
yeah.
I would volunteer for that.
Right, it's fun, the seniors really enjoy it, and it's free for them, sponsored by Park
I
and
know
Rec.
it's a big hit every year,
It is,
so,
and
Oh,
it
that's
went away for a few years,
did,
so
it
now
did,
it's
yeah.
back, and
yeah.
the police are very helpful, and
Mhm.
Mr. Didi is extremely helpful. We won't be starting the smoke detectors off this year because the burgers were cooked.
A little too much.
It was comical,
Oh.
yeah, right, Mr. Didi? It's comical.
Burgers were cooked.
They were
For
cooked
sure.
close to the building, and
Oh.
the entire Southwick Fire Department showed
Showed
up, I
up?
think, yeah. Nothing caught on fire
No,
actually,
but-
except for the grill, but it was a lot of smoke. So they were avoiding that this year with the help of Malicious.
All right, sounds good.
Yep.
Old Town Beach.
So you asked me to follow up on the Old Town Beach letter.
Yes.
I reached out to Carl.
Yep.
His suggestion was to send a now letter through the constable to make sure that, he received it and take it from there. So I will draft that letter, and do you want me to sign it from the commission like I did last time?
Yeah,
It will be a very nice letter asking if he has had time to,
Which is
follow. We know, I know, but Carl still wanted to try the good neighbor approach and,
Well, you could add that since our last letter, you have not done anything, but if there's more, there appears to be more. And you can leave it
Yes.
at that.
it
not
being
to-
sent by the constable will at least have a record that that address received
Okay,
the letter and we can then take it from there. I think that was a good first,
okay,
so I'll take care of that by the end of the week.
thank you. All right, and then new business, do we have any new business?
Well, we gotta do so you didn't get the updated
Wait.
agenda, but the updated agenda has my
Okay,
goals and
sorry.
objectives on it.
Oh, yeah, okay. And that was,
Which was sent
the
to all of
email that
you.
you
Yep.
sent,
Yep.
right?
Mhm.
And this is your yearly kind of like
It's my yearly
synopsis
synopsis.
of
yes.
everything you've done.
Yep.
Okay,
Well,
Do we
me
have
and
to-
Tara and
Why don't you just get
COA
the part
staff.
that pertains to us?
right.
We don't have to go through the whole thing.
So,
Did you read it? Did you guys
I
read it?
did.
Yeah.
I did.
Yeah, I read
I-
everything.
Thank God my reviews aren't like that.
And I have to write these too. Something seems backwards,
Yeah.
but it's the way that it is.
So,
You know my boss.
that's cool.
The garden club is very cool. It's right outside.
Yeah, I know, who's doing it? Anyway, we'll talk about that after. So we're gonna jump to page 2 with your park and rec stuff, right?
Yeah, it's kind of all
Um,
mushed together, but yes.
Yeah. So basically Easter egg hunt, you highlighted that, town beach staff, you highlighted that. Your grants, which you combine for COA and for park and rec,
Mhm.
which you wrote, you detailed those. Christmas party, partnered with Civic Fund.
Mhm.
And you also did your senior candy cane extravaganza. You did some vacation, other vacation activities, the movie theater,
Mhm.
see?
And another reptile show and I think it was.
Oh,
in
yeah,
April.
you did do
Yep,
that, yeah.
yep.
So, and as we just previously talked, the senior sizzler,
Mhm.
one of the things that should have a big, huge star and maybe 5 others next to it was the CP3 grant that you, application that you submitted at the 11th hour for us. Thank you. So the technology updates were using the, app for the fields, for rentals, general use of the park. Program, yes, Facebook was a big thing, to highlight because that kind of gave us some exposure.
Mhm. That's how we get a lot of the people at the
Mhm.
grant, at the things at Wally Park. It's great.
Yep.
It's fantastic.
Is there, before I open my mouth, didn't you do something about the camera system at the park?
That was
Wasn't there?
last year.
Oh, that was last year,
Yeah.
my bad, okay.
Yeah.
So then, so it goes on to
It all
highlight
blended
some.
together, to be honest.
Yeah, some other COA things, the pickleball kind of started here, it's gonna take off.
Mhm.
And.
That's in progress. yeah.
Applying for CPC funding, which is good for both, for 2 properties.
Yep.
Continue writing grants, that covers both of
Mhm.
us and yourself. Anything else that, I think it's a lot and good,
Thank you.
basically.
Are there anything else you want me to do or direct? And just for the record, I think I wrote it in there a million times. I couldn't do any of this without Kara. We are a good team and the other 2 staff at the COA. I don't do anything without them. So I think we have a good group and I only have to put this in writing because I'm a department head and that's a requirement. So that's why this is written the way that it is.
So what do you need us to do? Sign it?
Just a motion to approve it and then just sign it.
Are we
and if
just
you want me to
signing
do-
one, Or are we just,
I would just
Yeah,
sign
we
one, yeah.
alright.
And if you wanted to change anything, add anything, something I forgot, something you want me to work on, or another goal.
I
Well, you
have a goal for the rugged maniac that, as a town, we try to approach rugged maniac and the motocross or the Legion, whoever owns it, that they don't include parking with the Rugged Maniac.
And isn't that a
And
national thing?
I don't
Yeah.
care, because if, whether it's the Legion or the motocross, if we just said, guess what? Screw you, we're not gonna park cars at Wally Park or the rec center for the motocross, they'd be out of luck. So that we need their help delivering the message. I'll get you, Joe, and we need their help delivering the message that we go there and we spend 2 days and you make $2,500. All we do is send people around, and I don't know what they charge for Rugged Maniac.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
tell you, whoa, they charge a
But,
lot.
you know, in my opinion,
For parking, you mean?
we as a
Yeah.
town should be saying, we need you to make an
It
exception,
is right here.
because these are all fundraisers
Yeah,
for, you know, nonprofit, you know, the park, the rec center. I'm assuming the school does it maybe for scholarships or whatever.
yeah.
And I don't think any of us make much of anything on that. And, you know, so that would be my ask. I don't know if that can.
So I don't-
I was almost gonna say it's not worth it.
It's almost not worth it. It's almost like
Parking
close
for
the
that?
park.
For Rugged
Yeah,
Maniac,
it's
yeah.
not worth it. It's
For
2 days of
300
sending people
cars in
back.
2 days.
Yeah.
So so I looked this up before I came to the meeting because I wanted to talk about it because it's July.
Yeah, it's too late
and
this
it's
year,
in
but.
September,
Yeah,
right?
I know. I
So
don't
we
know if
only
it's
have like
probably too
one more
late.
meeting.
They priority of people that have signed up and got parking.
Oh, they would.
Well, it's $10 per car. Online parking patches can be purchased, which we've had this argument. We know that. We've
Mhm.
even asked to speak to the Rugged Maniac people and we've gotten nowhere. And it's $15 per car on race day.
Mhm.
So we keep that in our back pocket, and it's the 23rd and 24th of September.
Mhm.
So again, when I looked this up, yes, this is like a national thing. And
I don't see why you still can't charge and say, if you want to park here, you gotta pay us $20.
They're not parking there. They're parking
But
in the
thing is, they
motocross.
buy prepaid parking and everybody pulls into our lot.
We just turn
I have
around.
Prepaid
All
parking,
we do is turn them around
like
and they go into the
hundreds of
motocross.
cars.
so FYI, well, this is a little bit old, but New Media Investment Group recently acquired, but this is a couple years old, an 80% stake of Rugged Maniac for $10.4 million.
Yeah.
So there's two business partners that it states, but this is a huge moneymaker for whoever invented it. But I don't know who, I mean, I guess we would have to reach out to somebody at the motocross and say, well, okay,
Joe wants to talk.
you want to talk now and answer all our questions?
You're on mute still.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
I'm safe on you. Hi, guys. So I've been involved with motocross, as most of you know, since I was 18. That group is run by a young man named Brad, who's out of Connecticut, who started Rugged Maniac. And then the Shark Tank are the folks that took it over for 80%. The gentleman who was the basketball team there, Mark Cuban, is now
Oh, okay.
partner in this.
Millionaire.
We'll go back probably 7-8 years ago. We did try to negotiate where they were going to lease out the rec center parking and charge the $10. And we got so close, and in the end, they just said no. So yes, the motocross doesn't charge it, the Legion doesn't charge it. It's that group, Rugged Maniac, that charges the $10. They park everyone in the pits up at motocross because of course there's no race vehicles in there, that kind of stuff. So it works out well for them. And if you want someone's phone number, I can probably get you a name and address and everything else you need to move forward. But so it isn't the Legion and it isn't motocross. They rent the facility, as you guys know, for that weekend. And it's X amount of dollars to rent the facility. So yes, it does suck that you guys sit there all day.
I'm saying the Legion or the motocross, before they sign on for next year, can they be our advocates and say, here's what we're trying to do? Because
Absolutely, absolutely.
we also work with them for, you know, the motocross, and if we didn't have all that parking, we'd have a big problem on our hands. So I guess I'm just looking for their help to understand, you know, again, they're making their money as they should. We're not getting anything out of it, where years ago that helped fund a lot of stuff at the rec center and at the park and rec. When that wasn't included, all of a sudden they started including it, and it's, in my opinion, it's a complete waste of time to park cars.
It
on
is,
a
it absolutely is. If there's a way you could rope off Wally Park in the rec center, that'd be the way to go, just to punish them. But unfortunately,
Yeah.
there isn't. I believe they do a 3 to 5 year deal. Let me look into that for you. And when their deal is close to being done, I'll get you a date tomorrow. then I would love
Okay.
the right person from your group to sit down with Rick Johnson ahead of time. And he could definitely advocate for you.
Maybe we could schedule a meeting.
Sure.
Does someone want to be in charge of that? Or I can schedule it, but is who on the board wants to?
I'll get
or
you
do
guys,
me to just do
I'll
it?
get you some
If you want
information.
me to just do it, I will. I don't want
If I
to,
have a little-
Yeah,
I'll
I don't
go
want to
if I
say
have-
that I
if
will
have
do
a
it if
little
you
house.
want to be involved in it, but I can just do it if you want me to.
I'll be glad to talk to him, but
Okay.
it's, you
In a
know,
meeting.
I need some time, advance notice. I can't.
Right,
show up
yeah.
Tomorrow morning.
I hear you.
Yeah.
Neither can I. I have to be in
Friday-
3 places at
Friday
the
at
same time
1.
tomorrow.
Can you do Friday at 1?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think anything's gonna happen this year. My feeling is with the rugged maniac.
There's nothing
thing,
you can do this year, right?
Instead of wasting 2
Shut the
days,
park,
maybe
just
we
close
could
the
just put
park.
signs up, no rugged maniac parking at the park.
Yeah, just put
And
the,
if somebody parks there, they park there. But I mean, truthfully, we've never, the last 2 years, we haven't had enough cars where it
No,
affects
it's a waste.
anybody else that's up there.
We can we can put the barricades up, the winter barricades up,
I
Oh,
think
yeah.
it's
but that
easier for
affects the
these-
community being able to
Yeah,
get
we
in.
could do that.
It's easier for these people just to park over at the rec center and let them make the money.
But part of the,
You
Well, you
have
have
the gate
two-
open, so there's no way to get into the facility. They
Right.
have to walk all the way back around.
well, they can cut through the woods like they do with the
If
motocross.
they're gonna park there for free at Wally Park, then they can do the long walk and find their way over.
Mhm.
You also have to take into consideration, you have people that don't buy the parking pass either when they sign up. They take the risk of,
Not a whole heck of a lot of them.
No.
I think last year,
I think last year you made a couple grand.
$2,000, I think, it's brutal.
yeah, for a day and a half or,
Mhm.
but I think we did okay with the motocross. I'd say I don't even wanna waste my time doing that for that little bit of money. I mean, it's just a nuisance, like
Yeah.
telling people to turn around all
That's all
day.
it is. Turn around, go up, turn around, take a right.
but I have my thing.
But we can just put just put the sandwich boards or whatever out there and just say no rugged maniac parking.
All right.
Police take notice.
Okay,
I mean, if they wanna park there.
so I will work on
Park
that.
there, but I
We'll
don't
add
think
that
it's gonna affect anything else going on at the
Okay.
park.
Okay,
You could have rugged maniac make up signs to put on your property saying where their parking is.
Yep.
yeah,
That would be
but
ideal.
who would that be? Who would that be? That would be the person you're gonna tell us tomorrow or whenever you get back to Cindy?
Yeah, I know.
Who the, oh, okay.
I love that.
So I'll follow up with that. So I'll put that. Any other goals you want me to
I-
do?
No, but you didn't put in your sale goal. Or does that matter?
What sale goal?
The shade thing,
Oh,
does
Yeah,
it
you don't have to
matter?
put that in.
No,
You got enough goals on there, don't worry.
Okay.
yeah, I mean, that's just an ongoing
Yeah.
thing. I mean,
Okay.
sometimes,
well, I'm
we
just,
just do it. I just write these so that
all
I
right.
mean, it's gonna be done whether it's in there
Okay.
or not. If
So could I get someone to motion that we approve what is it called? I'm
goals
sorry.
and
The
objectives.
Goals and objectives. As
We all
listed.
signed it.
I'll make a motion to approve Cindy's goals and objectives.
Thank you.
I
Second,
second it.
thank you. We will
Thank
take
you
a
very
vote.
much.
Jeannie Reed, aye.
David Data Laurie, aye.
Mike Sheila.
Mr. Chairman, I.
Okay, we have approved your goals and objectives, your 5
Thank you.
pages of goals and
I'm
objectives.
sorry, yeah.
All right,
It's a lot shorter this year than it was last year. I just made lists instead of,
we are
Paragraph.
done with new business,
Mhm.
I believe so.
okay?
Yep, I
And,
think we did
Um,
everything.
I make a motion to call the meeting.
okay, meeting is adjourned,
To
7:40
adjourn.
PM. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Who made the motion?
Mike Sheila.
Mike.
Mike.
All right.
Thanks, Mike.
Good night. Hey.
Bye, Joe.
Bye.
2 seconds, Mike, or no? We have 2 seconds?